As the leader of the Booner Path, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff Iafrate and Booner. It's Friday, November 14th. We are back on a Friday. All right, and we're ready. We got a show planned, Lions, Eagles for Sunday Night Football, which, by the way, I'm fired up about. I can't wait for it.
Here we go.
Our game day programming on Sunday is going to be electric. Sunday Night Football will be live. As soon as the game starts, we'll be live for a post-game show after the show. You guys are going to want to be there. And get your merchandise, officialtdsports.com. We got Sean Murphy joining the show today, who covers the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons are playing right now. All right, they're playing the 76ers. And we have injury updates as it pertains to the game. And you know what, Booner? I didn't like what I saw on that injury report. Didn't like it. Didn't have fun today.
You're talking about Lions injury or Pistons?
No, Lions injury.
Okay, because the Pistons injury report too is just absolutely insane. But yeah,
well,
Lions.
You know what? We could say both. All right.
No, just Detroit sports injury report is tough right now.
Yeah, they're battling. Yesterday we talked with Corey, and the question I had for Corey Woods, who covers the Lions for MLive.com, I asked him, I said, you have Sam Laporta, Kirby Joseph, and Taron Arnold, three important Lions players, obviously. Are we looking at like one of the three at least? You're 0 for 3. All right, that was never a thought in my mind. So we'll discuss that, our concern just about the injury report, and we'll get into some matchups, offense, defense for the Lions. And then I actually did watch Vic Fangio's press conference today too, because I like watching the other coaches talk. A lot of respect on both sides, but the Lions are going to be without some starters here on the road. But Dan Campbell spoke today. He seemed pretty positive about it. He's pretty fired up. They believe in Brock Wright, so we'll get into all that stuff, what we expect out of this Lions offense. But I don't know. By the way, I know we kind of hinted at it. I don't know if anyone out there gives a damn about internet golf, but I got to give a shout out, man. This is coming from me, who listen. I started golfing. You got me into golf about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and
I started watching YouTube golf. I don't know if anyone out there's watched the Internet Invitational that was made by Barstool Sports. Bob does, the guys over at Foreplay. But I got to give a massive shout out to that event. If you like golf and you enjoy watching golf, go watch the Internet Invitational. That was easily, and you texted me this morning, Booner, the best golf event. And honestly, YouTube golf event, video, whatever I've ever seen and you've ever seen. I completely agree with you. It was absolutely electric today. They posted the last episode today, so you can go check that out. It's on the Internet Invitational YouTube channel. But yeah, Barstool's you know what they're about, but that was incredible, man. We watched every single episode. We watched it. We were texting about it this morning, but massive shout out to those guys, man. If you like golf, go watch it.
Honestly, even if you don't like golf, it's just entertaining. There's 6 episodes of it, and it was they're 2 hours long each. One, a couple, maybe 3. And it was just you're glued to it the whole time. And yesterday's episode, I think it was one of the, honestly, you could even say golf, just in YouTube general, just one of the greatest pieces of content that I've seen get put out. It was entertaining. The last episode, entertaining from start to finish. I was just it fired me up a little bit. And we've been talking about doing golf stuff forever. That made me open my eyes a little, we need to get into this game here a little bit. Cause it was just it's unbelievable. And obviously the production and all that they have is just next level.
Insane.
But the content that came out of it is I was up watching it last night. I texted you first thing in the morning when I woke up. I was I gotta text Jeff. Did you watch it yet? Did you finish it? I was this is the greatest piece of content I think I've ever seen in my life. It was that good. It was awesome. And honestly too, it was sad too at the end because Beef passed away, who was in it. I'm not gonna say who won it, but he was in the final. It was one of the most up and down roller coaster things that I've ever watched. And then at the end, it was a hit of emotion. It was oh my gosh, I feel I was watching a movie, man. Honestly.
Yeah, you see It's Too Easy, Eric from It's Too Easy. You guys know he's kind of opened up the doors to here locally of YouTubers that cover the Detroit Lions or talk about the Lions or talk about Detroit sports, golfing with Isaac Tesla. I think there's a lot there that's untapped. So it's exciting. It really is. So look for that stuff more in the future. We got some big things planned, not only for just the crunch time content side, but a lot of other things. So you get your merchandise. I mean, things are coming out. We have more things in the works right now. Officialctsports.com, officialctsports.com. Get your dang merchandise. But I guess we should open up with some of these injuries, and I'll show it off. The injury report is lengthy. All right.
Yeah.
I know I've been saying that every single day, but it just is. I mean, the Eagles injury report is a fraction of what the Lions is, and they're getting some starters back. This injury, I mean, look at this thing, dude. It's like they had to knock down the letter size. All right. It's like, when you're typing a paper and you got to look at this. Hold on. It
kind of looked blurry when I first opened it earlier today on Twitter.
There's so much on here. So we'll start with who's out officially. Terran Arnold's out. Kirby Joseph out. Sam Laporta out. Josh Paschal out, which, that's not surprising. He's not back yet, but he's working his way back. Then you have the questionable side. Dude, this questionable.
I think there's positives and negatives to this questionable list.
There are. That is true. Marcus Davenport, that's a positive. Questionable.
This is insane, though.
Taylor Decker, questionable. I think he'll play. So I would say that's probably, I'm confident. Miles Frazier, that's positive, right? I think we can say that. Questionable. That's positive. He's working his way back. DJ Reed, that's positive. He's questionable. All right. Amik Robertson, not positive. He's questionable. Malcolm Rodriguez, I would say that's positive. He's questionable. Jacob Sailors, Penei Sewell, Sione Vaki, Brock Wright, Penei Sewell, and Taylor Decker. I think they both play in this matchup. We'll see with Vaki. Brock Wright has to play. I mean, there's not.
Yeah, well, it's kind of sucks. Like Sam's out. Brock Wright's not healthy too. What's happening there?
That's not even a debate. So I think a lot of these guys will be playing. I think the guys that probably won't play, in my opinion, DJ Reed.
The fact, honestly, though, before you do that list, I would just say, though, the fact that Marcus Davenport, Miles Frazier, DJ Reed are all questionable, I think is like a pretty good positive, honestly, because that means they're actually considering them playing, or they would just have put them out with those other guys, right? Like if Marcus Davenport, who just came off IR, you were like, nah, I can't do it, you would throw him out, would you not? And just be like, he needs another week. Yeah. Same with Miles Frazier, same with DJ Reed. So it's actually shocking the fact that some of these guys, I think it's a positive that some of these guys are actually questionable. That means maybe next week some of these guys are actually playing.
Yeah, they're close. They're definitely close. Like DJ Reed, I wouldn't be shocked if any of these guys are activated. I mean, based on what we've read, especially like guy like DJ Reed and Marcus Davenport, they've been practicing. They probably want to be more cautious with those two, but they're going to be back within the next week. If not this week, they'll be back in about a week or so. I mean, they're close. Miles is, I think, and Josh Paschal, who's out, they're probably all in the same kind of, I would say they're in the same bucket. They're going to be close. They're going to be back very quickly. Like, I think this Packers game, you're going to have dudes back. This Packers game, I think, will be one of the only games this year so far that you've had pretty much an entire, knock on wood, healthy roster. Because you're going to have TA back at that point. You're going to have Kirby back at that point. Sam Laporta back. And then some of these guys that are trending back will be back.
You expect, as long as, knock on wood, as long as some of these guys play, if they play, they don't get hurt, Jeff.
Exactly. That's the big one. But if everything, if it's smooth sailing, you should have a pretty good, they should be healthy, looking good for the second half of the season. So
what about the guys? So the guys out. Can we go up? Can we talk about those guys that are out?
Yeah. I mean, it's not ideal. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it hurts that you have Kirby and TA out already, and it also hurts that you have Amik and DJ Reed. And I'm just going to include DJ Reed in there, even though he hasn't been there. Already questionable. Like, I don't even know who could play corner. I mean,
Rock Yassin, man. Come on now. I think Amik. I am pretty sure. I know Amik's questionable. I'm pretty sure he told the media that he's going to be good to go. So I think that just might have been because he's on the injury report. I do think okay. I have a theory. Do you want to know my theory? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I think some of these guys are limited practice. Like Amik probably was limited today, and that was just so he could get more rest. He was still out there getting ready to go. I think if you're limited on Friday, I think you're automatically questionable for the game. That's my theory.
Yeah, no, you're probably right about that.
That's the theory that I have. Or maybe if you sit out, and maybe they let some guys sit out today. If you sit out, you have to be on the injury report for Sunday based off of, I don't know if there's NFL rules behind it. That's just a theory that I've always had because it feels like there's guys that it's like you shouldn't be on this that are. But I think Amik's good to go. So I think you're going to have, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. I think you're going to have Amik, Rock Yassin. out there over AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, which is tough. I think honestly, the one that I think is the worst one that's out is Sam Laporta. I think that one's going to hurt you the most. Because I think you've played without Kirby and Terrion. Offensively, Amon Ra had his interview yesterday, and he talked about it to where like a team can double him and Jamo, but then they can't double Sam Laporta. They can't double Jameer. Now without Sam Laporta, it helps that, especially a Vic Fangio defense, it helps kind of make it a little bit easier for a defense to go up against the Lions offense. Because Sam Laporta, man, I mean, as much as people don't want to talk about it, that man is a weapon, like a weapon.
Oh,
it's a game changer not having him on the road versus an NFC, essentially Super Bowl opponent.
You know who I'm worried about? And I know you haven't had him, but I'm just talking about for this matchup. I think this one stings not to have Kirby. I think this one stings.
Yeah,
I think in these type of matchups, you need a guy like Kirby who's a absolute playmaker on the road, because what do they like to do? What have they been doing a lot of this year? Jalen Hurts is, honestly, we could say whatever we want about him. One thing you can say about Jalen Hurts is he can throw the deep ball. He can throw the deep ball, and you have AJ Brown and Devonta Smith matching up against basically Amik and Rock Ya-Sin. They're going to throw deep balls, and this is where in these matchups I would need Kirby to lurk back there. Because, like, these are the games that, Jalen Hurts throws a deep ball. You got Kirby Joseph. It changes how they approach that. If you have a guy like Kirby who's a lurking back there. I love Thomas Harper. He don't bring the same level of threat. All right? That's obviously a clear thing. So, for me, Sam Laporta, TA, I got a lot. I mean, you obviously want TA in the matchup, but I'm with you. Sam Laporta and Kirby are two big. That's two big losses. Like that. Those are two big ones on both sides of the ball for different reasons. I do believe this, though, and I do want to mention this and give a shout out to Brock Wright. I think Brock Wright can step up, make some plays. Can Brock Wright go 4 catches for 35, 40 yards? I think he can. I think he's capable of that. I think Laporta has a higher ceiling. Like Laporta can go 6 for 80, or, he could have a big game, which they probably are going to need. They would need that. And against the Eagles, you need all your weapons. But I think Brock can hold that down. I don't know if Thomas Harper, he's a young player in this type of environment. This is a tough environment. You're in Philly. You got all these weapons. It's just, I hope their offense isn't going to just all of a sudden click. I know they've been having some success in the passing game, but Kirby's a tough loss, man. Like, Brian's going to have kind of weigh. If Lott's going to fall on his shoulders in terms of making plays in that secondary, because they're banged up everywhere. I mean, you only have Amik and Brian in the secondary that are worth it. I mean, all due respect, like worth a damn. Like Rock can battle, Thomas Harper can battle, but you got some skill position players now. Dallas Goedert, like I know probably Maloney, Jack Campbell probably take some of that a little bit.
You would hope so, but you're gonna need guys to go out. It's like one of those games where it's just you need to, like, I'm not saying put full trust into him, but it's like what Shep said a couple of weeks ago, that game where all those backups kind of stepped in and played, where it's like, hey, you're going to need one or two of those guys to really come in and actually make a difference. As much as you hate relying on it, it's just kind of it's a matter of fact in that situation. It's like, hey, we need you. Like we need something out of you here on Sunday. And even if it's not, and honestly, and as crazy as this sounds, Jeff, like even if it's not a full game, like just prevent a couple plays. Like if they get plays, okay, fine. Your offense can help you out. Like it's one of those games where you're going to really have to rely on your offense and special teams, but just limit, right? Like if Thomas Harper can be in there and just limit a little bit, if Nick Whiteside can go in there and help and limit a little bit. I mean, the man did it versus Emeka Ibuka, one of the, you could argue a top 20 wide receiver right now in the NFL. I don't know. I know obviously know AJ Brown and Devontae Smith is different, but you just need those guys to be able to go in and step up like that.
Yeah, I mean, ETN even comments, I still think you guys can beat them. Your secondary's banged up against Tampa, and you held up. Tampa's more explosive has a more explosive passing attack than Philly. That is true. I think the only argument, you mentioned this, Booner, they just have better weapons. I mean, Mike Evans went down very early, so they have more talented weapons. But Baker, we can say as a passer, a pure passer, Baker is better than Jalen Hurts. I mean, he is a better pure passer. I think all around quarterback, people take Jalen Hurts because he's a winner. He can run. He's great. That's another thing Jalen brings to the table. Like he can scramble. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see. Nick Whiteside's going to be a guy that he could get some run too. I mean, we'll see who kind of goes out there. But Thomas Harper, breakout game.
We'll see, man.
I mean,
hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, this is what and I want to talk to you more about the offense because they have no Sam Laporta. So I guess the question simply would be, number one, your confidence in Dan Campbell calling plays in Philly against Vic Fangio, which, by the way, Vic Fangio, let me see. I just found, I should have this stat ready. But there's something I was reading about Vic Fangio. It's like a fun fact, and it's like an insane stat. Let's see.
It's a fun fact.
Yeah, well, I read it today. He says his defenses have ranked in the league's top 5 in yards allowed in 8 of his last 13 years, while placing in the NFL's top 5 in fewest points allowed 7 times over that span. So he's one of the greatest defensive minds of all time.
And he's been elite. I mean, they've been good this year.
I think
was it crazy that
for Dan?
And shout out Flannel. It's Flannel's birthday today. Shout out. Happy birthday.
Flannel, by the way. Happy birthday,
was it crazy? The Flannel trying to be like Jalen Hurts should be MVP candidate based off of just the record. And he's always 16-1. That defense has been like the only reason they're 7-2 right now. If they had half of or take away 10% of that defense the way it's played this year, they're probably like 5-4, or I don't even know. 5-4.
Their losses are when the defense. Well, they're against the Broncos. Their offense was bad. Their defense was actually not that bad. But their loss against the Giants, the defense just broke. I mean, that was like the only loss they had.
Feels like they need this defense if they're going to have any chance to do anything. And AJ Brown like basically straight up said it too. It was just like our offense. Like we're not going to do anything doing what this offense is doing right now.
Yeah. I wonder if Johnny Moe on offense, like he's probably studying these guys. I wonder if he watched that Giants game, that loss they had where Jackson Dart was zipping it around on him.
He's probably watched the losses.
Probably dialed. He's probably watched every single dang play.
He's probably watching something right now, to be honest. He's probably in Allen Park watching something as we talk right now.
Yeah, they're going to be. I think Vic Fangio, I got a lot of respect for. He is like everyone's dream. Him and Spags, like as a defensive coordinator. I love Calvin. Calvin's done an amazing job, but Vic is like. That man is elite at what he does. He's elite at what he does. He's coached Hall of Fame players. He's had great defenses.
Do you think
the thing that he has to worry about, and now with Sam Laporta out, it's a little less, but the Lions just have so many weapons. They haven't faced a team like this since they faced the Rams. And that was a more high scoring game, but the Lions argue. I mean, you have more weapons. I know Sam Laporta's out, but you can argue in total with the running backs. I mean, Kyron Williams is good. It's probably more comparable with Sam Laporta out.
It's probably you would argue the best offense they've gone up against.
I would say yeah. Although they've been Dan Campbell calling plays, I have just in terms of talent, yeah. And Dan Campbell I think would give him a boost calling plays. But yeah, I would agree.
I do want to bring this up before I forget. John Morton. This is a weird question. What do you think? Yeah. First of all, does John Morton is he married?
I mean, I don't know.
I picture him.
I would assume.
I don't know. For some reason, my guess is no, because I like to picture John Morton. When I was at Saginaw, we had an assistant coach. Shout out Coach James, absolute legend. Where like his apartment, it was literally there was no TVs in the whole place. You just walk in, there was just like basketball merch in the like the living room, like stuff like from the team or like past teams. We was with Oakland, all these different things. They had that there, and then it was just like bedroom. And that was it. And it was just like, you just love ball. Like you're still like, I was like, what do you do? Do you do anything outside of ball guy? Like goes to sleep, wakes up straight to the office, works on. Like I imagine going to Johnny Moe's house. It doesn't have a family. He's at like a 1-room apartment. And like, there's just a bed and nothing else. And it's just like sleeps, wakes up, goes to the facility at 4 a.m., showers there, gets ready there. Like that's just, I feel like that's just him. I don't know. I mean,
this guy's got, it's like he's got like a single guy fridge. It's like, like a couple beers.
Nothing in it. Yeah, like 3 beers.
A couple beers, like Lay's chips on the top of the fridge.
There's like American cheese slices, not in the package, just like spread out in there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's literally just a twin bed, a bunch of playbooks, a film everywhere. And
stacks of playbooks in the living room. Looks like he's just like, it literally looks like someone's like going crazy in there, like in a insane asylum.
Pulls up to Allen Park in a Harley. Like I think he just has the whole shebang, dude. Pulls up in a Harley too. I mean, he's probably. I mean, you would imagine he has a family, but at the same time, if he spends so much time at the facility, I mean, you imagine his wife would be like, "What the hell are you doing?" But Johnny Moe's just an absolute workhorse, so I respect it.
By the way, too, Mahdi Hassanin, he said, "I wish Ahmed was in this game." I'm pretty sure Dan spoke today and said that he's back at practice next week with the team, like fully fully back, like practicing. That's pretty fires you up a little bit.
Matt, yeah, he's coming back soon too. He's gonna add some. You know what he's been they've been praising Ahmed all week. I mean, he's been, like,
and next week he's fully at it, man. Fire, like, come on now.
Get some juice in that D line room. It'll be good. I think I honestly, the thing I'm looking for in this offense for me, I think the player that I think has to step up, and this is going to sound cop-out-ish, but it's really not based on what we've kind of seen. I think on Sunday, the player that has to be big time for the Lions, I think it's just that it has to happen is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think Amon-Ra is going to he's got to get back to what he was doing at the beginning of the year. Because he just hasn't in the last 4 weeks, 2 of the 4 games over the last 4 games, 2 of them he's had under 60 yards. Like, I don't know, Amon-Ra to start the year, he had the bad game against Green Bay, but he was just on a tear. I mean, he had 200-yard games in a 4-game stretch, and then he had 45 against Kansas City. He had some good games against Tampa Bay and Minnesota, but then he had 58 against Washington. Like, I think in this type of game, big matchup, kind of like the Baltimore game, he had 77 yards on 8 catches or 7 catches. I think you got to have an Amon-Ra game this week. I think he's got to get back in there. You have no Laporta, which means in the passing game, you go in your Sunday night football, a primetime game, you go to your most reliable pass catcher. Like, I think Amon-Ra this week, I would expect that man to go out there this week with more leaned on his shoulders and go out and get like 8-9 catches for like $110. Like, I want like a 100-yard game from Amon-Ra. I don't even this touchdown. Yeah, of course he'll score, but I think it's got to be a big Amon-Ra game. I know J-Mo just had his 100-yard game, and you could say J-Mo as well. Like, those receivers got to step up. But for some reason, this feels to me like an Amon-Ra game. You know, you're outside, outdoors. You know, you're on the road. Jared, you're going to one of your best weapons. You're going to one of your most reliable weapons. O-line's breaking down. Got to get the ball out quick. You go into Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I think it'll be a big Amon-Ra game.
That's who I do think, like, Amon-Ra hasn't been like that bad the last few weeks. Like, I think this last week, the Commanders, Jeff, I could be wrong. I feel like Dan just, if he wanted to get Amon-Ra involved, I think they would have.
Yeah, he's just been like,
I truly do.
It's not like he's been bad. He's just like, 45 yards in like 2 games of 4, probably. Like, but it's not his fault. I'm not saying, but I expect him to get a lot more involved. I think Dan will be calling like that J-Mo drive. That J-Mo drive where he's like, J-Mo, you're going to you.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think, like, I think last game he did have that touchdown. Amon-Ra did versus Washington. And I think, like, with that, I just don't think I think Dan was trying to prove a point, as crazy as that sounds, that, like, hey, we don't need Amon-Ra to win all of these games. Like, we can use J-Mo, we can use Sam, we can use
make some deadlier. Yeah, make some
Khalif. They were using Khalif Raymond. He had like 40 all-purpose yards. Like, I think Dan was trying to make a point to show, like, hey, we can use all these guys. And also, like, that's as crazy as this sounds, that's Dan's first game play calling. He knew he was going in play calling all week, right? He's prepping for it last week. I wonder if there was a world where he's like, I'm not giving hands away. Like, I'm going to use everyone in this game because we know going into Philly, I'm going to really need to like draw some stuff up. So I'm with you. Honestly, I think these are like one of those games where it does set up for Amon-Ra. All pro wide receiver in a big moment. Philly fans are obviously going to be trying to go at him. Obviously, a lot of after the Trump dance, a lot of people in the NFL were like, this guy sucks. After the smack and the fake, they're like, this guy sucks. Everyone's been going at Amon-Ra. And I think, like, he lives for that. Like, I think he lives to go in in an environment like that and kind of prove everyone wrong and be like, no, this is actually why I'm Amon-Ra St. Brown. And right. I feel like I'm kind of with you. I do feel like he goes in there and goes for 100 in the touchdown.
I can feel it. I can feel a big Amon-Ra game. I think you go to your most reliable players in big moments, and he has. I just like he had a drop last week, and he's human. He had a couple. He had 1 drop last week, but I don't. I expect him to go out there and absolutely kick ass. I know Vic Fangio is gonna try and limit him, but that also comes with Dan's responsibility as an offensive play caller, and this is what Ben did really well. And I know Dan is fully aware of how to do it and when to do it. Whenever Ben was really good at moving Amon-Ra and moving these guys all around like chess pieces to get them open, knowing that opposing defensive coordinators are going to game plan for Amon-Ra. Like, they're going to try and, use bracket coverage or, try and limit him. But your job as an offensive guy or an offensive play caller, it's like the Rams have with Puka. Like, Sean McVay's always going to move Puka around to get this dude matched up in favorable positions and get a shit ton of catches and yards. I don't care what Vic Fangio does. Amon-Ra, we're going to make sure, like, that should be their approach. Like, we're going to make sure this dude is constantly involved and makes plays. It's going to come down to it. So might be a little easier on Vic Fangio. They don't have Sam Laporta, but it ain't going to be too much easier because you're going to have your hands full, man. Like, I know someone asked about Isaac Tesla.
Do you think that he even gets involved? There's just
not in this type of game. I don't think.
No, I mean, I just feel like with Isaac, it's just like until we actually see it, I just can't be like, yeah, he's going to be involved in this game. He might. There might be a chance he gets a target or two. He did last week. I think he had 2 targets, but I just don't see a world where it's like, yeah, no, this is an Isaac Tesla game with no. I think the biggest one of the biggest X factors. Like, I hope Brock Wright plays, man. Like, you could, like, I think people underestimate what Brock Wright does. There's been games.
I mean, what would it be? Shane Zylstra?
Shane's hurt. I believe Shane Zylstra's on IR. Let me go see, man. They did just sign a tight end this last week.
Oh, Anthony.
Ross Dwellett.
Oh, Ross Dwellett. Oh, no.
Yeah. He has 1 target this year. You really don't have a tight end. You need Brock Wright.
To play, dude. He needs to play. I mean, unless Dan's suiting up and calling plays, they need a tight end bad. And I know they were talking about using, you hear Dan, they talk about Jackson Meeks.
Moving him to tight end. That's probably why they.
Jackson Meeks at tight end.
What was that?
What?
Actually, I was moving my mouse and I clicked the edit button for our thing and it like changed the whole screen on my end. I thought I did it for the whole show. I thought I shut the show down. I'll say, oh no.
That'd be a perfect Friday show, honestly. No, Jackson Meeks is 6'2", 218.
Is that about what is like? Let's see. What is Brock Wright? Brock Wright.
Oh, he's big. He's like 6'4",
6'5", 250.
He's a big dude.
Is there Jackson Meeks is not a tight end size? No.
No, I would say he's a wide receiver. I mean, he ain't a tight end, but he is in a UDFA, so I'm sure in his eyes, he's like, I'll do whatever to play. But he's a wide receiver, man. He's just an athlete. So they look at him as like he's just an athlete, and he's got some, like, I mean, for being real, like, I don't know what that looks like. I know they talked about maybe he's like, we could play a little back too, a little running back. He's just an athlete. So I'm like, I wonder what they kind of do with him. He just plays scout team, they get him ready for the game. But Jackson Meeks was making plays, man. Buddy says Wright's not the best blocker. Yeah, that's actually another good thing. I'm glad that Buddy brought up. Sam Laporta, everybody talks about his ability to make plays. Not enough people talk about his blocking. He's a really
he wasn't the best at it forever, and he's kind of gotten into that where they've actually talked about his development and blocking. Do you remember after year 1 in the off-season training camp, Jeff, they asked him, like, what's something you want to get good at? He was like, I want, like, going into year 2, he was like, I'm really focused on my blocking, and he has become a really good blocker.
That's what they're gonna miss, bro. Is the blocking and obviously the offensive impact he has. So it'll be interesting to see. I want to talk about this defense and kind of give our thoughts on what they're facing with the injuries and being shorthanded. But before we do that, we'll talk a little more about Dan Campbell as a play caller. Before we do that, though, we've got to hear about our friends over at Sleeper. So we'll see you guys in a minute. I've interrupted the video to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper in the new promotion they have going on. A brand new promotion is now live on Sleeper that could be paired with the 100% deposit match promotion that's already been going on. It's a free $20, no deposit required, plus first-time users will also receive 100% deposit match up to $100. Use the code CT Sports. You guys should already be using Sleeper. It's one of the fastest organically growing fantasy platforms in the entire world with millions and millions of active users. They are crushing it. And if your state allows it, you should be using Sleeper Picks. It's a real money product that connects friends over picks. You just choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame live or across different sports. Pick more or less than the predicted stats. And on Sleeper, you can get up to 1,000x payouts. Share with your friends. Get rewarded together. Don't forget, code CT Sports. Get a $100 deposit up to $100, and you got your free $20 entry. Sleeper is taking care of their customers. Always remember, gamble responsibly. Now let's get back to the video. I'm going to ask you, Boone, too, because we didn't really talk about it, but Dan Campbell play calling. How do you feel? What's your feeling now? We're 2 days removed. You still feel very confident in Dan Campbell to go out there and call plays at a high level? Or are you more skeptical? Where are you at? Confidence 1 to 10. 10 being very confident, 1 being screwed. Where are you at? take a sip of water. This
I'm
actually.
telling you, my voice is it's on its last leg. I would have to say this is where the problem comes into play. It's like I just want to see. I don't know if this is fair to say. I just want to see Sunday. That's all. Like I think I think he has the best out of anyone in that building outside of maybe Jared Goff. I think Dan Campbell has the best feel on how you can get this offense in a rhythm and how you can kind of get a feel for this offense. I just want to see it versus a good defense. And you want to see, like I did say earlier this week, like Dan's going to have some mistakes on Sunday night because it is a really good defense. So you're not going to like what you did versus the Commanders where you got a first down on a possession every single play. 5 plays, 4 first downs, and the 5th one's a touchdown. Like, you're not going to do that versus Philly. There's going to be plays where you punt, which you didn't last week. It's going to happen. But I just wanted, like, I want to see it. Like, I want to see if he can find a way to make sure that this gets in a rhythm. And if something back against the wall, can Dan Campbell call, let's say, a game-winning drive? Can Dan Campbell go out there if you need to put 3 on the board or you need to put 7 on the board in the third quarter to stay in the game? Is Dan Campbell, you know, that type of play caller that can go out there and has the exact, you know, packages to go out there and be like, all right, we need to score. I have my best plays in the back of my pocket. Here we go, and gets it done. You see what I'm saying? Like, I do feel like there is a side, some people have been saying it all week, like, yeah, there is a small part of it where, like, that Commanders defense isn't the best defense in the NFL. Are they the worst? Like, they had some players that play, but they just haven't been good as a whole. So, yeah, obviously there's a difference from that in Philly. So before I'm like, hey, I'll give them an 8 out of 10 confidence level, I would just say I'm right in the middle. And then after Sunday night, I think we're going to have a better feel on how good of a play caller Dan Campbell can be. And he's not going to, again, I want people to know it. Man's not going to be perfect on Sunday night. There's just no way. There's no way. Second game play calling this year with this offense, there's going to be some bumps in the road. But you have to see it on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's going to be moments for sure in this game where we probably, you know, scratch our head. I hope they're on the lesser side than, you know, more of it happening. But I will say the one thing I do not want to see, and I hope Dan, we haven't seen a lot of it this year. And this is when I keep this in mind on Sunday. They're in a big game. They're on the road. We've seen Dan in these big games on the road be a little more aggressive when it comes to going forward on 4th down. I know he's going forward on 4th down this year, but I had this weird scenario in my head, and maybe and this is like a shot in the dark that this even happens, but I can see this happening. End of the game. You're down 7. Dan drives, scores with like 3 seconds left, 4 seconds left, goes for 2. I can see that happening, dude.
Yeah, because you're on the road and it's like you have nothing to lose. Actually, honestly,
do you see what I'm saying with that?
Yeah, I do think there's a world.
Like, I could see Dan being like,
I would be mad at it because if it was the old overtime rules, I'd be like, okay, I get it. But the fact you get the ball, I'd be a little upset.
Like, I can see Dan doing some shit like that.
Oh, 100%.
He's like, we're going for it. We're winning this game. You know, we're winning this game.
If they didn't get that might be one of the biggest crash outs I've ever had.
Yeah. And then he would say, I just felt good about it. I felt good about it. You know, we had some banged up guys. We didn't want to go to overtime.
I felt good about it.
Now, to answer the question, I want to see him more situationally. I thought they showed a lot of improvement on 3rd down last week. I want to see red zone, 3rd down, stuff like that. I think overall there's going to be plays made. I mean, it's a similar playbook. They believe in I mean, you're going to see Amon-Ra make plays, J-Mo make plays, Jameer make plays. But I want to see them on 3rd down. That's like the big thing is, can you follow up last week again? You know, are we moving forward? Are we showing progression or regression? What are we showing here? All right. We're good on 3rd down against the Commanders. The big thing people say is, well, the Commanders defense is butt cheeks. All right, fair. Now you're facing a good defense. Can we convert a frickin' 3rd down, or can we have a better 3rd down conversion rate than the Saints on the season? All right. And I think they will. I think they will be decent on 3rd down, at least good. You're not going to be great on 3rd down against a good defense, but they should be better than what they do. So 3rd down, I'm looking to see. I'm fired about it. Buddy says trick plays even. What if we see it?
Yeah, I want to be shocked on the road. It does feel like one of those games. if I'm being honest, we've talked about this a million times. I feel like that I think it was last year. There was the behind the scenes where Dan in the locker room, or in a meeting room was like, offense, this is all on you this week. Like we're going for it every single time. Like it's falling on you. I feel like with no TA, no Kirby, they're going to have some sort of conversation like that. And I feel like there's going to be some trick plays like on the road in Philly. It just feels like one of those games where it's like Dan wants to win this game. Like he is not leaving Philly without a win. And he will do everything to get it. That's what this week feels like to me.
You see what he kind of talked. I don't ever heard Dan mention this. He talked about it today, but he was saying he's like, yeah, we have moments where we win games and we're like, would that be good enough against the Eagles? You know, like they do. They have the Eagles in their head, bro. They definitely think.
Yeah, because he's 0-2. He said it earlier this week. He was like, they've had our number. He was like, since I've been in Detroit, we've played them twice, 0-2. And every time we were like never in the game. He was like, we've come back, kind of been in the game. He was like, they just have us every time. Dude. So he probably really wants this one. And outside of everything else, he's like, I want to beat Philly, man.
Yeah, and Philly's going to be a big one. If you could beat them, like I talked about the other day, when you beat a Super Bowl champion or you beat an NBA champion, NHL, whatever it is, Stanley Cup champion, doesn't matter. World Series champ, you can say, hey, we beat that team. That's a big win, confidence booster for them. So it'll be big. We'll get into the defense because Calvin Shepard has his hands full, obviously. Saquon Barkley's having a down year. I don't give a damn. All right. I don't care if he's averaging 1 yard a carry. It's Saquon Barkley. And Calvin Shepard fully understands that. I think, and I've been harping on this all week, man, the biggest matchup to me is what they do against Saquon Barkley. You have a top 10 run defense. You have Saquon, who's already struggling on the year. You cannot allow Saquon to have a get-back game against your run defense that has shown at times to be leaky. All right, you cannot do it. The run defense, it has to be stout. It has to. Yep. I'm not saying you shut down Saquon. Fun fact: Saquon is averaging like 2 yards a carry against the Lions. Now, the context about that is he was with the Giants both games, so they've done a pretty good job historically against Saquon. But this is completely different. That O-line for the Eagles is very, very different. And I would hate to see if Saquon gets going, he is the Jahmyr Gibbs of the Lions. If Jahmyr Gibbs is having an incredible game, this Lions offense is unstoppable. You can't stop. It's hard to stop because now you're worried about the run, play action's working, you're screwed. If Saquon's getting 5-6 yards a carry or more, something like that, he's having a big day. You're going to be in a tough spot, man, especially in like goal line situations. So I think for defensively, we could talk about the weapons. We will in a little bit, but Saquon to me, Booner, the biggest matchup. You can't let that guy get loose on Sunday night. You can't, or else you're screwed. I mean,
listen, I'm right there with you.
That's on the linebackers too, by the way. Linebackers, they'll be big in this game for sure.
Yes, and I would argue, you would think, and I know the Eagles have played some good teams, but like that front seven, this Lions front seven, they have been one of the best run defensive teams in the NFL for the last few seasons. And that's not like, to me, that's just not like, that's because you have such a good front seven. You have one of the best, and I want to pull this up too real quick, but you have one of the best linebacking crews in the NFL, top to bottom. You have big fellas like Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader inside, Hutch. You have the guys to do it. I truly, and it sounds crazy, I said it the other day, like I truly feel like the only way you lose this game to their offense is if you allow Saquon to kind of go off and have his first big year. Or first big game, sorry, not year, big game this year. Because he hasn't had a breakout game yet. He's had has he had a 100-yard game yet?
The only one he's had was against the Giants. He had 150.
Giants, 150, and that was the game where they obviously had a big, but like every single time they have it. Look at the Denver Broncos, 6 carries, 30 yards. And they just went, I don't know if he got hurt, went away from him or what. And then you go to the Giants when they lost before, 12 carries, 58 yards. What do we talk about? And me and you talked about this for years with this Lions team, to where their record when they hold opponent running backs under like 70 yards, it's impossible almost to lose a game, especially when you're going up against a team that relies on a guy like Saquon Barkley. And if you hold him under, I mean, even like a guy like him, you hold him under 80 yards, you're probably going to have a chance to win this football game. You most likely will, because if you look at their wins, like they played Kansas City, beat Kansas City when Kansas City was completely beat up, right? What did Kansas City give up? 88 yards. What did I say? Hold them under 80. Dallas, they beat Dallas by 4 points. A trash Dallas team. They hold them under 60. The Rams under 50. Tampa Bay under 50. And it's like, well, Philly keeps winning these games. Could argue that this Lions offense is better than all of these teams. And for Philly, if you're on their side, you're looking at it and you're like, we need to get Saquon going versus Lions team. We need it. Like, we need our offense to step up because this Lions team could put up 30-plus points. They really can. And any single day. They haven't given up 30 points at all this year.
Yeah, they haven't. Their loss to the Packers, Josh ran for 3.5 a carry, so he was serviceable. Aaron Jones ran for 8 a carry. He had some big runs in there though when they beat the Lions. And then Isaiah Pacheco ran for 4.3 a carry. So it's not about them being game-breaking running backs, but if they're able to run the ball and stay ahead of the chains, it just causes problems. And he's the best back they've faced. I mean, all due respect, just in terms of talent. Derrick Henry's great, and he's a hard matchup, but Saquon's a different type of matchup. He's like Derrick Henry's maybe like a 2-yard carry guy, and then he hits a home run. Like Saquon is like, he can get you at any carry. He's incredible.
10, 15.
And he can catch the ball too.
Yeah.
Like that, it's just a problem. And luckily for the Lions, you have A.J. Brown, over here bitching about not getting targets. And I think some of what he's saying is true. But I wonder also kind of how they approach this game offensively, given the Lions are down some corners. That's what I think. I think because
do you think they just go away from Saquon completely? Not completely, but like obviously they want to establish the run, but
they might try to beat
after all
corners. I don't know.
Yeah, and force it to those receivers, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
Yeah, because sometimes a lot of times people say you run to open up the pass. There's offenses that can pass to open up the run.
For sure.
Like if they're trying these deep balls and connecting with AJ and Devontae, it could open up the run a little bit. I don't know. I wonder what Kelvin does. Are you running man coverage? You going to try and play these guys straight up, or are you running more zone?
Hop in the zone.
They're more zone this year, but yeah, it's going to be. This is definitely, I think. Well, not even. I mean, by far the biggest matchup for Calvin. This is like his biggest.
His up to date for sure. I mean, you could have argued the Baltimore game, but they didn't feel like that game was.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was big too. That was a big one too. But besides that, this is a big one for him, and he did a great job against Lamar. Like they were.
I'm confident in Kelvin Shepard. The fact that he was able to figure out the Lamar Jackson thing, something for years that no one in Detroit could figure out how to stop a running quarterback, and he was able to put together a good plan versus Lamar Jackson. I know you were kind of healthy defensively, but I do think that Shep is going to have some sort of plan here for Saquon. I don't know, man. I really do believe if you just stop Saquon and Jalen Hurts and you can keep that run game under, let's say, 100 total and Saquon under 80, I don't see a way you lose this game unless your offense completely falls apart and you can't get anything offensively.
Yeah, like Michael says, the Eagles cannot do anything against the Packers zone. I mean, that game, I don't know what to take from that game. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know if you. I mean, the defense they had moments, but I don't know if that's a game that they're watching to. I don't know. I mean, they gave up. They did a pretty good job against Saquon, but he still had like 100 yards from scrimmage, but he didn't run for a ton of yards. I don't know what they do with that Monday night game. You probably could take some things away from what the Packers did, but you know who's got to step up on defense? And I know this again, another cop out, but he's coming off a game where he didn't do really anything. Aidan Hutchinson, you're gonna have a tough matchup, dude. You're gonna have a tough matchup. It ain't gonna be easy. You're facing Lane Johnson. You're facing Mailata. Okay, you're facing two really good tackles. That dude's got to go out there and make play. I mean, he doesn't have a choice. I mean, he's got to be force fumble Hutch.
You need honestly like Hutch AQM, man. He's been kind of silent the last few. You need AQM to step up and make some plays too. Hutch is obviously the guy. It's like. You're supposed to be a defensive player of the year candidate, man. Like these are the games where it's like this is where Sunday Night Football. What do I talk about all the time with these moments, Jeff? To get into the media for the defensive player of the year, those things you have to make plays when it comes down to it. In these primetime games, especially versus teams like the Eagles, Hutch needs to go in there, man. I've been betting him 2 sacks for weeks now and just hasn't hit. He needs to go get 2. Like you need to get to Jalen Hurts. Yeah. You got to disrupt this offense because if you're going to stop the run and they're going to try and listen. This all goes hand in hand. Hey, if they're going to try and kill you with the pass game with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and they're going to try and open up the run game, disrupt Jalen Hurts. Don't let him get the ball off to A.J. Brown. That's how I think the Packers kind of did it. Is they had Micah Parsons running all over. They had Rashawn, everyone just putting Jalen Hurts in a bad spot.
And by the way, like to the secondary, I know T says watch AJ have like 130. They could still win this game, by the way.
How many times have we seen this Lions team give up 1,000,000 yards receiving and win games by 2 scores?
Yeah, that's the crazy. They could still win it. It's just red zone defense. Saquon, I think, is a big one. I mean, AJ can have a big game and they can still lose. I mean, that doesn't. It's just when his yards come. Obviously, that's kind of what matters. But yeah, I'm with you on Aidan. I think. And I know who I'm also looking at in terms of the run defense and helping out inside the interior. Aleem McNeil, man. I know he's been kind of up and down, but this is the game where Aleem McNeil's got to pop out, show up, have a big game, because he had a good game when he returned. He's kind of still getting his feet wet. He's getting, back into the mix of things. But if you're going to stop the run, Aleem's going to be part of it. And he's probably the only defensive tackle on the interior that's going to bring you any pass rush juice. That dude's probably the only guy. I love Roy. Big Roy. It's Lopez County.
I love Roy Lopez, man. I'm starting to become a big fan.
Tell you, Roy Lopez can do a lot of things. All right, he's athletic. He's a menace. But rushing the passer, Aleem's their best one.
What about Tyreek? Can we get something? Tyreek had 8 snaps last week.
I don't even know if that improves. I don't even know what's going on with him. I think they're just.
That's so disappointing, dude. That's so disappointing. I hate it because I want Tyreek to be so good and make it have an impact on this team. Like these are the games that you're like, you need Tyreek to, like, these are big games for. That's why, like, sorry, the Eagles, man, like their defensive front, like I'm not gonna say you try to copy them, but like Jalen Carter, like those guys they have up front, that's what you tried to build with your defensive line, and you drafted a guy in the first round to be one of those guys, and he just has it 8 snaps, like that's crazy, man.
I know. It's disappointing. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. He's a young player, but your first round picks need to play. I mean, they just need to play.
J-Melt said they're avoiding the rookie wall. No, he's hitting it right now, man.
He's already hit the rookie wall.
Yeah.
Snaps have went down.
Unless J-Melt's is Tyreek's burner, and that's what they're telling J-Melt's. But
yeah. Yeah, that's just what it has been. I mean, he's kind of they've gotten guys back like Aleem, so the rotation's bigger, but he's just being outplayed. I mean, Roy Lopez has outplayed him. He's just outplayed him. And there's things that Tyreek needs to work on. But first round picks play. Jahad Campbell for the Eagles, he's playing. You'll see him a lot in this game. Their second round picks play. Lions, their first round picks got to play. It's just part of it. And the Eagles have a good roster, but their picks play. And the Lions picks play. But for whatever reason, like TA played right away. Tyreek just hasn't really. I mean, to think that we were talking about this, like, it'd be a must-have if you have Aidan, Aleem, Tyreek, and like AQM or Dav. Like, no, it's not even that, dude. It's DJ Reader. DJ Reader's playing way better. Like,
DJ Reader last year was unbelievable.
Yeah, he's playing good football, dude.
Doing the same thing.
So maybe we were all. I was definitely got excited for no reason on that. I mean, he's not ready yet to do anything of that matter. He's actually been a better pass rusher than he has a run defender.
Yeah, I mean, Klotz said that Tyreek was coming in and potentially even take Aleem's spot week 1. I mean, what a swing and miss that was.
Yeah, he definitely needs more work. I mean, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
He needs more work.
And to clarify for people, I'm not saying Tyreek's not going to get to Aleem's level still. Like he will, but it's just more so like where it's week 9, week 10. Like the crazy thing about it, and this is actually shocking to me, Jeff. And I don't know, maybe it's a difference because with Tate, you need Tate. You have no other choice. But like Dan and these guys are like with Tate Ratledge, they're like, we tell him like there's no more excuses. Like you're not a rookie anymore. You're a vet. Then they keep going to press conferences saying that about Tate because he has to play. It's like with Tyreek, they're like, yeah, man, like he's hitting, he's a rookie. He's learning. There's bumps. It's like, why are you saying that?
Yeah,
Tate, he's a vet now.
All the same.
Tyreek's a vet at this point, right? Like, hey, you're 9 games in. You've started a couple games now when Aleem was out. Like, what are we doing? What's happening here? What's the difference?
One sibling's getting away with things the other sibling isn't. I mean, what do we do? I mean,
I don't know how I feel about that.
Why is he getting away with this shit? No, I'm not.
Jay Meltz, if you're Tyreek, tell us what's going on. Are you good?
Yeah, he's and Tate's had some up and downs, but he stays in it. He has to stay in it. They don't have a choice. I mean, he has to play. He has to play. But yeah, I see Xavier just put Tyreek Williams. His PFF grades aren't good. I mean, I don't know if you don't care about him, watch the film. Hasn't been good either. So lines up with the eye test. I'll tell you what. So we've been trying to get to this segment for 3 days. I mean, you have Booner's questions for me and the people, and
yeah. I mean, to be fair, they were like questions, honestly, that probably fit when Dan took play calling over. So we've had a lot of these conversations as is. But let's hit the questions, huh? Sure.
Let's do it. All right, let's hear from our friends over at Prestige Worldwide Vending for all those business owners out there.
Prestige Worldwide.
If you're looking to add a little spice into your business, I have the perfect match for you. See you guys in a minute. I've interrupted the show to tell you about our friends over at Prestige Worldwide Vending. State-of-the-art vape vending machines that can boost sales to any venue. Business owners or anyone that has an establishment that customers are coming in and out of, Prestige Worldwide Vending can help not only attract new customers, but keep customers inside your establishment. Nicotine users that leave to go get nicotine, it'll be right in the place they're at. 32-inch touchscreen, customizable advertisement, which is sweet, by the way. Age verification software to scan IDs confirming age, pre-sale if required. You can pay cash, credit, debit, or mobile. Mobile payments are also accepted, and you get paid when they get paid. It's a win-win. You make your customers happy. You make money on the side. And, of course, working with a company like Prestige Worldwide Vending, who is on the up and up, can only benefit your business. Shout out to them for sponsoring the show. Now let's get back to it. All right, let's get to Booner's questions. Booner, you have a couple questions for me. Fire them away. We'll talk.
Well, these aren't like the biggest questions in the world, and it feels like I don't want to like repeat the questions we've been talking about the last few days in regards to Dan Campbell, the offense, the defense, all of that. I just thought like on Monday, it was interesting to me when all these conversations are approaching. And the biggest thing, what's been the biggest conversation piece outside of play calling? It's like this Lions team, like, can they win a Super Bowl? And I think we've had this conversation over the last week where a lot of people are like, no, they can't win a Super Bowl. Yeah, they can. And it's like there's a mixture of it. So when I start thinking about it and you break it down a little bit, all right, like last year, what was the reason that you always said that they weren't going to win a Super Bowl last year? They didn't have a Super Bowl caliber defense. And to be able to win a Super Bowl, I don't think you can have one side of the ball that's that type of caliber.
A liability.
Yes, it has to be. You have to have a Super Bowl caliber offense, Super Bowl caliber defense. And that got me thinking. We really even haven't talked about it. And I don't think a lot of fans or people around the city have had that conversation yet. Like, do you truly believe, one, that this offense is a Super Bowl caliber offense? Now the fact that Dan Campbell's taken over. And then number two, defensively, I know you have had injuries. You're about to add some pieces. Do we feel like this is a Super Bowl caliber defense? So let's do it this way. Let's do a scale. And I want the people in the chat to drop theirs as well. Let's start with the defense. I want people to drop their confidence level 1 through 10 if they feel like this defense is a Super Bowl caliber defense. And where are you at in the scale of that? Jeff, obviously I'm going to go to you on this and we'll have this conversation with you, but I'm interested to see as well in the chat if they feel like this defense is a Super Bowl caliber. Because last year for you said no.
Yeah, I did. I know a lot of that was due to the injuries. They couldn't hold up anymore. They had so many injuries. I mean, you got to a point where having Jamal Adams play snaps. So, you know, I last year, no, it was not a Super Bowl defense. I will say this though, this year's defense, what they've shown to me, and the thing I look at when I look at Super Bowl defenses is, can you rush the passer? You know, stopping the run's important, but the biggest measurement to me is how do you play against elite quarterbacks? That's what I like to see, is how do you match up against great quarterbacks? And you're going to find out in the next stretch of games. So you have a better answer when they face, like, for example, they face the Eagles, they face the Rams, they face, whatever. But so far, they faced Lamar. They did an excellent job. They faced Patrick Mahomes. They didn't maybe do as good of a job as you expected them to do. Baker Mayfield, they did a really good job. So I would say overall, my confidence right now is probably like a 7.5. I like this defense.
Wow.
Yeah, I really do like this defense. I think the question I have, though, for this defense, obviously health is always going to be important. I just want to see, and I know the sacks are up. The linebackers have been doing a really good job, but I still have question marks. I've been saying this at that DN2 spot. Like AQM has sacks, but his pass rush win rate has gone down. He's been dipping a little bit in just overall, not maybe production. He had a sack a couple games ago, but just in getting in the backfield and winning one-on-ones. I would like to see more of kind of that answer on the other side of Hutch. I know it sounds repetitive, guys, but it's true. I mean, they're last in the NFL in pass rush win rate. And Aidan Hutchinson's winning, so it ain't him. They're doubling him. That would probably be my big concern. But I think overall, I feel really confident. I like this defense. I think Calvin's done a really good job, and I feel good about him in a postseason against good quarterbacks. I feel pretty good.
So 7.5?
Yeah, I'd say about a 7.5. I feel pretty good with this.
You want to go 8? Round up?
I wouldn't mind that. You round it up.
8 is a good number.
I feel good.
Last year, I think you were at like a 2 or a 3.
Yeah. Well, again, a lot of that was just they had no bodies.
Now, is that 8? Is that with currently like today, or does it go up as guys get back healthy?
I guess I'm looking at it more healthy. Maybe not this
Okay,
weekend.
that's fine, because I was looking at the same day with DJ Reed, with Davenport, with Josh Pascal, Terrion. Like that, I was looking at it more so that I think I'm going to go at an 8 with you as well. I like an 8. I think that number is good. A lot of people actually are lower than I thought. You see Buddy there at 6, Anakin 7. I do think this is a really good defense, or it can be a good defense. I think the point you brought up with Lamar, that you stopped Lamar, one showed that you could do that. I think Sunday night's going to tell a lot on how this defense is when it comes to stopping the run. And with receivers, obviously you don't get your full defense. You don't know. But I think Shep, man, like he's proven he can scheme up and he can, adjust to different offenses. Obviously struggled in a couple games here and there, and there's been moments. When this defense is healthy, though, if it gets healthy, I don't see how you don't win a Super Bowl with this defense.
Yeah,
I think it's good enough.
Players, man, they have. I mean, healthy. Kirby, Brian, DJ Reed, Aiden. I mean, you have the linebacker crew: Jack Campbell, Anzo, Derek. I mean, Aleem when he gets fully back. When he's feeling back fully. But they have the talent to do it. I think they have enough talent. Like Aidan Hutchinson to me is, and I've said this before, like he can have that type of impact Aaron Donald had in the playoffs for the Rams. And I know Aaron Donald's one of the greatest ever. I'm not trying to go that far, but I'm just saying the version of that on the Lions. But I think Aiden's that type of player too. Like big moments, get sacks, get forced fumbles. Like he's that type of dude. So I like where the defense is at, to be honest. I
think actually, Jeff, like to your point with that, I don't know if people remember the run that Aidan Hutchinson went on in 2023 to end the season, where they up against Dallas. He had 3 sacks versus Dallas, I believe it was. And then the game versus Minnesota. Wasn't that, and I believe, was that the clinch, or no, they already clinched at that point, did they not? I don't know. I don't remember, but I know he had 2 sacks versus Minnesota. And then you get to the playoffs in the first game at home versus the Rams. That man went out there and had 2 sacks and was a game changer in that game. 6 total tackles, 2 sacks, tackle for a loss. And then the next game, Tampa Bay, like has a big sack versus Baker Mayfield as well, and had a big game there. And then even versus San Fran, disruptor, multiple pass deflections, didn't have a sack, but had multiple pass deflections. And that 5-game run that he had at the end of 2023 and in that postseason, that single-handedly helped that defense kind of get stops that they needed to versus Matthew Stafford and the Rams, versus, Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield. So I think he has it in him to do that. It's just about maybe he's a guy too, honestly. We haven't seen him in the playoffs like last year. Maybe he's just a gamer. Maybe when push comes to shove in the playoffs, there's games right now where we're not really seeing that much out of him. Like we're still seeing good football, but when the playoffs come around, maybe he's just a guy that flips the switch and he's ready to go.
That's what great players do. That's what
versus Ohio State
players do. He's a big game guy. That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's why I actually don't even worry about him this week. I think he's a big game dude. And that's what you want your best players to be like. I mean, even I will talk about the offense in a second. I was going to get to another point, but Aidan Hutchinson is a big game guy. I feel very confident in him making plays. Do I maybe, Is there like maybe a curiosity to Kelvin's first year as DC in the postseason? Yeah, I want to see it, but so far he's shown me that guy can game plan. I feel very good. I feel very good right now with him. So as of right now, November 14th on Friday, I feel great about this defense. It's actually, to me, it's been a consistent pretty much. I mean, there's been some woes and things we talk about, but there hasn't been too much bad things you could say about this defense. I mean, they're doing really good. So,
by the way, I obviously have a TV next to me right over here. Pistons are playing tonight, NBA Cup. Duncan Robinson just had the ball at the top of the key, Jeff, dribbling it. They're playing the Sixers. I will give you, and I don't want you to cheat. I want you to turn the chat off. 3 guesses on who do you think just stripped Duncan Robinson fast break and dunked it in a fast break on Duncan Robinson.
The Sixers. Yeah, okay, so the fact you're asking, it's not going to be like Tyrese Maxey. It's not going to be like a known player. Maybe like a guy that I would just know off the top of my head. I kind of know. Can I look at let me look at the roster. I'll just start.
As soon as you see the roster, you're going to know it. You're going to be like, yep. Former Piston. I'll say that before you look.
Oh, former Piston. No, it ain't. No, it ain't that former Piston. Andre Drummond, I would assume.
Yes.
I was going to say, it ain't Quentin Grimes, by the way, Pistons legend.
Cookie jarred this guy at the top of the key. Just stole it straight from his pockets, Duncan Robinson, and went on a fast break. Banged it. Andre Drummond stealing it, picking the pocket.
He always could steal. He can get steals. People.
Yeah, it's crazy that he's still having he's not bad anymore. He's obviously not the Andre Drummond in Detroit where he was an all-star, but the man's career, he's old. He's not young anymore. Dude, I was watching Andre Drummond. I was going to games watching Andre Drummond when I was almost in middle school, and I'm old. The man's 32.
Yeah, is he still shooting the 3 ball? I know Diggity Dog just said he hit a 3. Is that true?
Oh, he must have.
I hated watching him shoot 3s.
He's just become just a very solid player.
But I gotta say, respect to Andre. That dude was people crap all over him because of different reasons. They made him a franchise player. They paid him to be a franchise player. But that was some highlight moments for me watching Andre Drummond.
I'll say this: Andre Drummond is one of my favorite Pistons of all time because I was through high school, he was the guy, and it wasn't his fault. They made him the guy, and honestly, for a guy like him who's really not a guy that's going to give you he wasn't Joel Embiid. The man went out there and got you 20 and 12 every night. And people want to say the effort. When it was him before Blake, he did have the effort. There was a while, and I think it just got to a point for him where he was like, okay, this is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, people were booing him and shit. He couldn't shoot free throws. There was a lot of moments, but I got respect for Andre, man.
I'm an Andre fan.
He hasn't found a home though. He's just been everywhere, man. I feel like he's been everywhere. I forgot he was on the 76ers. He's everywhere. He's on the Lakers.
Well, I think he's been on the Sixers for a couple of years now. This is his third or second season, I think, with the Sixers.
Yeah, he's been good for him. At least he found somewhere he can hang out a little bit.
Yeah, and he was in Chicago for 2 years, so he's had a couple spots where he's been able to. He's averaging, dude. The guy's averaging 8 and 8 right now.
When he was on the Lakers, I was like, oh wow, with LeBron. And then it didn't really last long. It didn't last that long over there, but I thought he'd be a pretty good fit with LeBron, throwing him lobs and shit. But no, it wasn't at all. But yeah, that's how I feel about the defense. What'd you say? Did you say your rating?
Yeah, I said I'm right there with you, an 8.
Yeah,
I think an 8's a good one. I think if this defense is fully healthy again, like I said before with Shep, I think this is a Super Bowl winning defense. You have all the pieces. You have the guys up front. You have the linebackers. You have that front 7 in the box. You have the corners. When DJ Reed, Terrion, and Amik are healthy, you have them. And then you have 2 elite safeties. From top to bottom, this defense, when healthy, scary defense, man. Very scary defense. So,
I agree.
All right. Let me turn the page. Offense. This is the one I'm interested in. 1 to 10. Chat. Everyone put it in the chat. Confidence level that this is a Super Bowl winning offense. 1 to 10. Jeff, start with you.
Okay, this one is going to be a little different, and I have reasoning why. You got to stick with me. All right. So I have this this line's offense to me in terms of talent is very high. Okay. I would say right now, this line's offense, I would say they're at a 7. And if Dan Campbell continues to call plays, which he will, and Dan can show like, hey, I can do this, which I think I have good reason to believe he can. It'll bump up to a 9. I think I got to see more. This is the one. It sounds like a cop out. I'm at a 7, but if I get a good stretch over the next couple weeks, they got the Eagles and the Packers. I'll go to a 9 if Dan looks like good calling plays still. I'm at a 7 right now. I am, and it's just from a play calling standpoint. But that can jump to a 9, Boone, in the next couple.
I gotta go to the booth to see if they're gonna allow. We got to go to a replay. Rules official to see if they'll allow that. Hold on a sec.
It's contingency. It's a contingency answer. Probably not.
All right, they said that's allowed. They said that that's allowed.
7, go to a 9 if we see a good stretch of play calling. That's
what about like 6 to a 7?
I thought we were done. I had a feeling we were done. There's always you always find a way to finagle a 6 and a 7 in there.
I haven't done that.
I mean, maybe we'll go 6, 7, and then go to a 9, and then go to a 9.
Yeah, 6, 7-ish, or
maybe I'm a little too confident in the O-line as well. Maybe we shouldn't be at. Maybe that's a little too high. Maybe a 9's too high with the O-line questions. Maybe we go to like an 8. But still higher. I'll say point blank higher if we see the play calling.
Yeah, I think the only question, like the biggest question to me, I think the play calling is going to work itself out. I think it really does. And I've always been, and you know this, Jeff, my contingency with this whole offense has always just been with the O-line. Like if this O-line's playing well, you good over there?
No, I'm looking at my water.
Dude, are you all right, bro? I thought you were like squeezing something out over there.
No, I don't know where continue. That's not me.
All right.
I thought my water. I thought I got like roofied or something, but no, we're good.
What did you do? Roofie yourself? Did you open that? Have you left your room?
I don't know. People got a lot of enemies. I don't know if someone's sneaking roofies into my water. Anyway, continue. Sorry about that.
I mean, this guy, dude, that is awesome. I mean, no, I just think dude, I've told you this, and I think everyone knows this. For me, it's just offensive line wise. If this offensive line's playing well, it doesn't matter what call or plays you're calling. You just need this offensive line to play well. So I think it's all contingent on how this offensive line looks. I'm going to go 8. I'm just going to stick at a flat 8. I'm not going to go from a 7 to a 9, a 6 to a 7, none of that. I'm just going to go straight 8. And I'm just going to say, hey, if this offensive line, obviously we know they're a little younger. They have their struggles and, they've had those moments. That might pop up in the playoffs. That might pop up here and there. I do think weapons-wise and Dan Campbell not calling plays, maybe a little bit you're able to get around that. Maybe a little, and that's why I'll go 8. Now, if this offensive line had 0 questions and this was last year's O-line, guess what I would say?
Oh, it'd be different. I mean,
I still think it's an 8 because, this offense is incredible. When they're rolling, it's incredible. Now, would you like to see it versus a good defense? 100%. Like you went up against the Chiefs, you didn't really do it, right? You didn't put up what you should have. Sunday night, Jeff. That's when, hey, we finally get an opportunity to see them put that up again and go out there and put up another, put up a 30-piece versus a good defense.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't hate that at all. I think the O-line and just for me, I got to see a little more of the play calling. But that's really the biggest question. Who I do think, and I was thinking about this when I saw the prep, who I think needs to step up, honestly. And this is going to sound weird, but stay with me again. I think a player that needs to step up or at least get back to what he was doing in the playoffs. He's the most important position on offense. It's Jared Goff. He's coming off of his worst playoff performance ever last season. It's hard to imagine he's not one of the guys you're looking at in this postseason stretch is like, hey, what are you going to do? Because I'll tell you what, in 2023, he balled in the playoffs. Not even a question. He balled in the playoffs. Following year, crapped the bed against the Commanders. And you leaned a lot on the offense, and he crapped the bed. So I'll say a player that I expect to fully step up in the playoffs and to help out this offense. I know the offensive line is going to have its days, and I know it's going to be hard, but he's a guy they're going to be looking at, man. No help's coming on the O-line, Goff. No help's coming, man, unfortunately. So it's going to be a lot on his shoulders. So, and especially if Dan's calling plays, there's going to be times where maybe he's going to have to check out of stuff, make adjustments. You're going to be lean. I know it's easy. He plays quarterback. It's the most important position, but I'm looking at Goff in the playoffs, man. Not that he's a bad playoff performer, but the game he's coming off, it's hard not to look at.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't a good game. Not much you can do to like back the guy up and say.
Yeah, it's hard to be like, oh, I ain't worried about him. It's like, well, you did come off a performance. He threw what, 3 picks, had a fumble, I think it was. But yeah, Goff in the playoffs, definitely. And not like he's not capable. Like I said, I think 2020. Wait, let me see. 2023. I'll tell you right now. In the playoffs, let me see. In 2023, he had 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That was his playoff run. I mean, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He almost threw a 70% completion percentage. Like in his playoff career, he has 9 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 3 of them came in 1 game. So he's been historically, pretty good in the playoffs. People look at the Super Bowl with the Rams, but other than that, he's been pretty good. And then he just crapped the bed last year, for whatever reason. I think the whole team just kind of had nothing left to give. So yeah, I would go Goff on that one for sure. For me. And then the O-line, obviously. Yeah, you got to be able to protect him. So that's not even a question. It is what it is. What's the score of that Pistons game? Why are people talking about the Pistons? Are they losing?
Yeah, they're down, but they have no one. Like, there's no Ron Holland's like,
still the same lineup.
Essentially, just Ron Holland's kind of like the only starter that's playing. Really, you don't really have
basically the same thing. I mean,
and it's the only problem too. Like the bad part about this, it's an NBA Cup game. That's why it's.
Oh, they have Isaiah Stewart back, but that's it, and Karis LeVert, but they're still without.
Karis was there the other night, but
yeah, they're still without Cade, Asar Thompson, Jalen Duren.
It sucks because it's the NBA Cup, man.
Man, Paul Reed facing his former team too. V-ball Paul, Dennis Jenkins. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Javonte Green. Hey, Caleb should have bet tonight. He has 3 threes. Caleb should have bet his threes tonight.
What about Ron?
Ron's. Let's see. Ron's 0 for 2. 2 for 10 from the field.
0 for 2 from 3?
Yeah.
I don't think he's made a 3 since Caleb gave us the bet to him and to have a 3.
Yeah, I think Caleb might have jinxed him.
I just don't think he's like a outside, like a 3-point. Like he can hit it.
He's not. He's better. He's got some potential. He improved. He's shooting low 30s this year. I mean, he shot 20, but he's not a great 3-point shooter. That's part of his game. He's got to work on. I mean, it's not even a debate. He's a great defender, can attack the basket, but yeah, he's not a great 3-point shooter. I mean, that's never really been his game, to be honest, but we'll see. It is what it is. Pistons, I mean, to be fair, they are. I mean, we're going to talk to Sean in a couple of minutes. He's going to be joining the show, but the Pistons are 10-2. So, they're playing pretty good basketball. And they're 5-1 at home.
They're only down 8 right now. It's the third quarter. To be fair, they're only down 8 in the third quarter. So, still.
Tyrese Maxey has, 23? Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps complaining too. Every time I look over while we're doing the show, I just look over. I don't have the volume up. I just see him just like whining. Anakin said, "I'm going to bed. Good night, Anakin."
Yeah, you got it. I'm going to bed. Night.
Night.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't know. It's kind of the new NBA too. Everyone just starts bitching. I mean, that's kind of.
Ron Holland just missed a 3.
Okay. All right. He's 2 of 11 now. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I don't know what skate is. I don't know what the injury, like when they're coming back or anything like that.
Dude, I mean, today when I looked at the report, my cousin was asking me like, "Hey, do you know who's coming back?" And I looked at the injury report. It was just game time decision on almost every single player. So I was like, okay, maybe we get a couple of these guys back. I mean, if Cade's game time decision, Jalen Duren's game time decision, all these guys are game time decision. All right, we're getting one back. Tobias was like, oh, we're getting one back. No, we didn't get one back. We got Isaiah Stewart, which I love Isaiah Stewart. But like, if you're talking about like a guy to really like go give you 30 to win a game, I don't know if Beef Stew's putting 40 up for you.
I would say no. Safely, probably no. That's probably not going to happen.
Michigan's playing right now. Someone said.
Yeah, that's
Versus TCU.
who?
TCU, Michigan TCU.
Oh, Michigan.
Yeah, they're losing right now.
Well, I thought they had the stack roster.
They do. They're 6th in the country. Maybe underranked. They're just down. They're battling, man. It's college basketball, bud. You don't win every game. There's some losses in there. Yeah, like, it's not. We're not talking college football where you have to go undefeated, man.
No, I disagree. No, I'm kidding. Michael says, "Happy, when did you start the other show?" Well, it's a show I'm a part of. It's Lions Collective. We do it once a week over there.
Yeah, Jeff is honestly, we haven't told anyone yet. This is breaking news. We're slowly working Jeff out. Jeff is going to be leaving the show January 3rd.
I'm getting a Mel Tucker-esque buyout.
Yeah, we have to pay a ton of money to get this guy out of here. That's a joke, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm
Jeff
getting a Mel Tucker-esque
not going
buyout.
anywhere.
Not a Mel Tucker-esque situation, but it is a Mel Tucker-esque buyout.
It hit me maybe a couple months ago, and this isn't a bad thing that it hit me, but it was just like it hit me. It was like, we own Crunch Time. Like, there's no like, hey, going somewhere else. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, we could buy Jeff out to get a stake in the company, but we're like, we have ownership of the company. There's no like,
yeah, no.
All right, my contract's up here. See ya. Like, no. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not.
We're here.
I mean, we're not. We're you know, this is. You know what? Fuck it. Call it Jerry Jones. You ain't buying Jerry Jones out. I'll tell you that.
Yo.
You know,
Jerry Jones and his brother.
it's a tough comp, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, did you just cop yourself to Jerry Jones?
No,
dude?
no, I don't want that. I didn't want that. Actually, I fucked up. I'm not. No, Jerry Jones. I would never want to be comped to that man ever in my life.
You're like
He's that guy's a garbage human being. I would say that.
You're like Martha Ford, and I'm like Sheila Ford Ham.
You know what? I like that. You know what? Better comp. Less allegations.
You'll take Martha?
Well, shout out Martha. I think she's 100 years old.
Yeah, shout out, man.
100 years old, man. My Nona's almost 100 years old. I think my Nona's 96. So she's almost at that Martha. Hey, shout out Nona, man. Getting up there. Let's get Sean.
Shout out my grandma's not my grandma's not 100. But by the way, my grandma, shout out if any of you are watching, she has Italian grandma, right? Just always go get her. She's, I don't know, 70s, almost 80s. Just to go get her. You know what her hobby is, Jeff?
What?
She lives in the downriver area, which I don't know how she does this in downriver. She has a beehive. Like, she does bees and gets honey from bees.
Respect.
She has it. She's like in her 70s, Italian grandma, throws on a bee fit, has it all like a bee fit, and she goes in there and she gets honey, and she has like, she's like, I talked to her on the phone the other day. She's like, I'm going to get 3 or 4 more queen bees for next season. She's like, I'll have your honey for you.
Respect. No, I respect it.
Man.
I respect it. Now, I one thing I will not respect is the Bill Clinton comp. Can't do the Clinton comp. Can't do that.
What president would you comp yourself to, Jeff?
I don't want to go there. That's a lose answer. That's a tough one to engage. I'll just say
I will take. No, I'm not gonna. Give me Iguodala.
Give me Sean Murphy. All right, Sean Murphy's joining.
Give me Sean from half court, baby.
He is joining us from an alleyway out in.
Oh, what is it? Where is he, man?
Hey, Sean, what's going on, my friend? Where are you at? What the hell?
Boys, what's going on? So, fun thing about driving. So, I got a new car this week, okay? And fun thing about driving hybrids is, in order to, like actually get the benefit out of it, you have to charge it, and it takes forever. So, if I wanted to charge my car all the way, I would be here until about 1 a.m, but we're only doing it a little bit. So, watching basketball, I'm just vibing, and I'm here with the boys. So, thank you for having me. It's not an alleyway. It's a hotel parking lot, which I don't know if that's a whole lot better, but we're here.
Sean, those car charges, they don't like blow up, do they? You're good, right?
No, I'm good, but like if it does, then like maybe that was the way I was supposed to go. Just blaze glory, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. But
hey, I just want to say, I think the sentence "she does bees" is like one of the low-key funniest things I've heard in a long time. Like I need a nature documentary narrated by Booner. So yeah, my grandma, she does bees.
Yeah,
I guess I could have said she's a beekeeper. Maybe that's the term.
No, I like it. I like the.
But I like she does bees.
I like your way better.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, Sean, I mean, this game right now going on is kind of nuts. You told me you were checking it out. It's the Pistons have been riddled with injuries, kind of like the Lions. But what have you kind of made so far of this run? You have Dennis Jenkins. Who the hell is Dennis Jenkins, and why are the Pistons winning games with half of the roster out? Can you explain this to me, Sean? And they're in a close one tonight.
Yeah. So the short thing of it is that you're really seeing the culture and the identity that's been laid out in full effect. I tweeted out the other day, if you want to see a team's identity and what it's made of, take out a majority of their starters and see what guys can do when they step in. And I think that's exactly what you've seen, because a lot of the role players, a lot of the two-way players, they've known exactly what's expected of them, and they know exactly what the standard is because it's set every single day when they come into the building. And that's a credit to JB Bickerstaff. That's a credit to Trajan Langdon. And I actually did an interview yesterday that's up on From Half Court that you can check out with Dennis Jenkins' personal development coach. He's also the head of recruiting at SMU for their basketball program, and just gave really good insight, just on his backstory. And it's crazy, man. Like, if you hear Dennis's story, like, didn't get a scholarship offer coming out of high school, played at JUCOs in college until he was discovered by Rick Pitino, played with him at Iona, and then came along with him at St. John's, and then went undrafted, came through the Cruise, became a two-way player, and struggled really hard the first part of the year last year, but then his offensive games just really come along ever since then. And he's maximized every single opportunity he's had, and has proven every single scout, every single coach, every single person who's passed on him wrong. And he's looking like he could be a legitimate NBA player, man. In those two games, before tonight, he was averaging 21 points, 50% from the field, 3 steals, 7 assists, like 3 boards. Like he was making his impact felt like all over the court. And I think they might have a legitimate player there as like a backup point guard. And the reason why I was like raising the alarm bells on Marcus Sasser might not having a future in Detroit is because they have Dennis Jenkins, quickly developing into someone who might be just as good, if not low key better, and is healthier at the moment. So, but all that to be said, like, this is literally the best Pistons start in 20 years. The last time they started a season with this record or this type of record, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, this is literally the best regular season Pistons team we've seen since the Going to Work Pistons, and that's saying a lot. Well, no, it's actually not saying a lot, but I mean, like, that's where it is right now.
What do you think, Sean, with the start? I know it's a long season, so obviously with this season anything can change, ups and downs. Where do you put them right now, though? If you were going to say, hey, different prediction from you had in the preseason, I don't know if you had them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Does that change at all for you? Like, do you think this team actually has a chance to go to the NBA Finals this year with what they have in place? Or do you think it's like, hey, just let's calm expectations. Let's get to the playoffs first. It's just a 15-game run. Let's see. Or do you actually believe, like, hey, this is a team that can make it to like an NBA Finals and win the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, I think a lot of the things that the Pistons have shown as far as their run, I don't think a lot of those things are fluky. Like the Bulls, for example, they started out the season like 5-1 or like 6-1, something crazy like that. And then they've lost like 5 or 6 in a row because the way they were winning in that winning streak was players were just shooting out of their absolute minds. Whereas the way that the Pistons are winning is by defense and scoring in the paint, which is exactly their recipe of success from last year. If anything, you're just seeing players being more assertive and more dominant. Like, I don't think when Jalen Duren returns to the court, I don't think the rise that we've seen from him thus far is a fluke. Like, I think there's clearly an athletic difference, an advancement in his game. There's clearly multiple players who have taken steps forward. And like you said, it's important to highlight it's early, not only because of the fact that, anything can change, records can change, but also because there's things like the trade deadline. Teams might make moves, when you come from a league where Luka Doncic gets traded at 12:30 in the morning on a Saturday, you just don't rule anything out. But all that to be said, if you are right now putting together like the top contenders to come out of the Eastern Conference, the Pistons have to be at least top 3. And if they're not, like, your list is wrong. because it's right now, it's them, it's Cleveland, it's New York. Any of those three, those are your true contenders. Milwaukee might be right there as well, but I mean, when you talk about like overall team depth, star power, everything that you need, plus assets to go out and potentially make a move. I said it like this earlier this week on the podcast. The Pistons have entered the chat, folks.
Yeah, well, actually, that's a good transition because I wanted to ask you, Sean, and we have had questions here on the show. People will comment and be like, do you think that Trajan Langdon will finally be the first GM to make a significant move? And people, I think when they say that, I'm not saying trade away like future guys that you want to keep, but what's kind of your vibe here? I know we're a long time away from the trade deadline, but just early thoughts on what the Pistons, how you think Trajan will handle this deadline, because it seems like he was right about some of the young players taking the next step, and I'll ask you about some of those guys taking the next step. But what's a good expectation for the trade deadline for Pistons fans? How do you think they handle this one? Because Tobias Harris is expiring, and I've heard a lot. Caleb, shout out to Caleb on our show. He's we've talked about trading, like the trading Tobias Harris stuff. But what do you make of it? Everything like that.
Yeah, so obviously it will depend on whatever's in the market, right? But having said that, I think when you look at the landscape, like what it's really going to come down to for Trajan is whether there's someone out in the market that he likes. But having said that, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if they stand pat, just solely from the standpoint that if you look at like what Houston did this last year, for example, they halted on making a big move. They could have gone and gotten Kevin Durant at the trade deadline last year if they wanted to, but instead they wanted to see what they had in house, see how far they can make it through the playoffs with what they have, especially after that really good season that they had. And then once they saw how those guys performed in those crunch time situations, then they went and made their move. But on the other hand, if you look at like another situation where, if you could see like, well, why should the Pistons be aggressive? Look at the Pacers from a couple of years ago when they went and got Pascal Siakam because of the run that they made in the play-in tournament and that proof that they showed at the beginning of the season that they're for real. So there's guys like Lauri Markkanen, obviously he's been floated around as a really tantalizing, prospect. I threw out the name Jaren Jackson Jr. as someone that I think would be really interesting at the right price.
I love it, Sean. I love it, by the way. Love it.
I know there's been concerns about his defense, about his defensive his denial on the defensive end. His salary's $50 million. There's very real concerns. But if you can get him at the right price and you can get him in a new situation, he's a former defensive player of the year, played at Michigan State, insanely good scorer. Like, if you can go and get him and not have to give up the farm, like, that's an incredibly tantalizing prospect, especially if you can keep Jalen Duren and/or Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, I do want to ask you here, Sean, with the Cade Cunningham stuff. We actually had this conversation, Jeff and I, the other day, because obviously the way he's been playing it, like you could argue should be in the MVP conversation. To win it, this was the conversation Jeff and I had, was it's hard, we feel like, here in Detroit to win it, based off of you have guys out there like Luka Doncic, who are putting up 30-plus points per game, where Cade really isn't going to put 30 up. He'll get you, 28 and 10. But you do have guys that fill the stat sheet up. So what are your thoughts on him kind of being able to win MVP? We kind of came to the realization, like, hey, it probably won't happen. Would it be sick? Yeah. Is it cool that we have a guy that you could argue not even argue, he is a top 10 player in the NBA? 100%. Do you think that it's a possibility, maybe not even this year, but like in the future, that this guy wins an MVP in the NBA?
Yeah, I think he's certainly going to be in that conversation for years to come. I asked Cade, at Media Day, like what he thinks it takes in order for him to enter that conversation. The first thing he said is winning, you got to win in this league. You got to, cement themselves at the top of the East, which they're in the process of doing. And so I think this season, I wouldn't be surprised if Cade finishes top 3, top 5 in MVP voting. Obviously, you have to look at guys, like you brought up Luka Doncic, who's on the ultimate revenge tour. You look at Nikola Jokic, who somehow keeps having even better seasons, even though for all intents and purposes, he probably was just riding his horses in the offseason. But hey, I mean, whatever he's doing, don't fix it, because it's definitely not broken. But like when you talk about like the potential of entering that conversation, what it's going to take for Cade, to really cement himself, I think it's going to be having one of the top records in the league, like top 5, top 3, especially, in the East. I don't even think it's just being from Detroit. I think it's being in the Eastern Conference specifically, just because of how much, more talent and how much, higher the competition level is in the West. That's why you see a lot of guys really win those awards there, because of when you get a high record in that conference, it's respected a little bit differently. But I think when you look at like what Cade's been doing and, just the continued elevations, the efficiency bump, besides that one Washington game that everyone's freaking out about, that was still a freaking incredible important performance if you watched the game, by the way. But all that to be said, I think if you were to put together a list of the American born player most likely to win MVP and kind of break that, that drought, because it's been about 8-9 years now since an American born player has won MVP in the NBA, I think Cade has to be your favorite to do it.
Yeah, well, Sean, I want to ask you, we actually had some back and forth on this show talking about Mr. Jalen Duren. Booner obviously feels very strongly about him, pursuing, just staying consistent with what his strengths are, which is
I don't know if we had this conversation with Sean yet.
Yeah, that's why I don't
think I've given my side of this. I feel like you can ask this question, but I feel like I need to give my statement on this.
Okay. How about this? I'll say it the best I can. You clarify where I went wrong. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, can I just give my statement on it?
Well, am I doing some Pistons marriage counseling?
All right,
no,
you give your side.
I just want to throw it out there, Jeff. And listen, I don't hate the fact, and you're probably one of them, Sean. Like, I think a lot of people wanted or like the fact that Jalen Duren expands his game into a mid range. Like, I don't hate that. My thought process the whole time with it was, I think Jalen Duren can be elite at what he is great at, and he can go out there and average 20 and 12 at not even expanding his game, which I didn't think before this year. Like, we've seen so many spurts of it, but he didn't fully tap into that. And my problem was just like, I get a lot, and I think a lot of fans do this anyways with players. Like, they want them to progress faster than they usually do. I want to see him tap into 100% of what he's great at before he expands his game. And I think my point ended up being a little right in this sense, because I think he's tapped into that this year, to where you're actually seeing, without the mid-range game, he's tapping 100% into like what he does around the rim. And that's where it's like, we haven't seen him do that consistently since he's been a Piston. And now he's doing it. And you could argue, like, this guy's a 20 and 15 type of guy every night now. And it's like, I don't honestly, like, and I told Jeff, this is where maybe we differ. Like, I don't care if he gets a mid-range. Like, I don't. I think what he's doing right now, he could be an all-star doing that. So, like, I get people want to push that. My point is just, like, I don't like, why try and take away from what he is now elite at and add that? That's just my point. I don't think it's a big deal what I said.
And then, Sean, I'll just add, because you pretty much, then you kind of know where I'm coming from already, Sean. But all my point was essentially is, once you get to a postseason type of team, I like the threat of having a guy who can shoot a mid-range jumper. I just think it changes how defenses will approach the Pistons if you have to respect Jalen Duren with a mid-range jumper. But especially, you know how it is, Sean, in modern day NBA, you need your 5 to step out. Maybe I hit threes at a high rate. I don't need to be Brook Lopez, but I like him expanding his game. But Booner explained it pretty well. What do you think about all that?
Yeah, not to sound like a cop-out, but I legitimately think both of you are right. Like, in the sense of, I think that, like, you certainly want to see Jalen Duren expand his offensive game into the mid-range at some point in his career. If that comes, within the next season or two, obviously, to your point, Jeff, that just adds another element to his game that makes him that much more of a problem to deal with, gives defenses that much more of a reason why they can't double team a Cade Cunningham. It just makes this team, a lot more dangerous. However, I think, to Booner's point, the reason why he's been so good this season is because he's really starting to maximize his abilities in the things that he's already been good at. And specifically, it's the aggressiveness, it's the consistency, it's the athleticism. He's really utilizing his strength and his positioning. And I think you're starting to really recognize, like, him not having to think the game as much and just starting to play and just naturally being in the right spots. And I think something, like, important to consider with that is, this is the first time in his career he's had the same coach in 2 training camps in a row. This is the first time he hasn't gone into training camp not having to learn, like, a whole new system. So, like, I think you're starting to see Jalen Duren a lot more comfortable, but also, like, I think you're seeing the game starting to slow down. And I think he's really realized, like, oh, I'm different. And like I've seen like people like make comparisons, and like I saw like Keith Black, he made a really good point of the way he plays basketball. His game is a lot like that of like an Amari Stoudemire. But when I watch Jalen Duren play, just his athleticism, the way he looks when he moves on the court, it just looks like Dwight Howard, man. It looks different.
Yeah, he's got that athleticism, man. He does. He's got crazy athleticism.
I think like a Rudy Gobert comp. I'm kidding, man. I keep bringing that up. And Jeff hates it. Jeff hates that.
No,
I think it's
not
funny,
that I hate it. Listen, John. I know.
I hate it.
I hate it.
No, it's a bad comp. It is.
No,
it for sure is a bad comp. What he's doing right now is so far off of what Rudy Gobert does.
Yeah, because Rudy, Defensive Player of the Year, I get all that. Like the accolades, Sean, great. It's amazing. You know how this shit works with Rudy in the playoffs, Sean. The guy's he's MIA. Yeah. He can't do nothing.
Listen, the comp that I don't like, and Sean, I'm just going to be honest, the comp I don't like, a lot of people comp him to the Bam Adebayo comp. I just don't think that's
not now, but that's
like that's why it's like for me, it's like you're trying to make again, like it goes to the argument of like he's great at what he does right now, and he can average 20 and 15 now. Adding to his game just so you could be like, hey, we have a Bam Adebayo. Like I kind of like what Sean said. Like you're getting kind of a Dwight Howard style guy. Like why try and force him to be Bam Adebayo because you like that comp or you want that type of player? Like that to me, it's like, all right, maybe he can get there, but it's just like you have a 20 and 15 guy without that. Like why would you take away from what he's great at just so you could say, oh, we got a Bam Adebayo?
Yeah, and I think really the Bam Adebayo comp where I think the flaws are there is just, not Drummond, sorry. Duren, he's just not that level of defensive player yet. Not in the same stratosphere as a Bam Adebayo. And, like Bam does kind of have a little bit more of that ability to play farther from the basket. But, I definitely think, again, like right now with the way that Duren's playing, I definitely think there's not going to be, as much of an incentive or a need to like get that going as soon as possible. But where I do think you see that become a problem, or where you do see that become something that they're going to have to contend with, is when you get deeper in the playoffs and you're playing against a Cleveland, for an example, who have two elite, bigs with length and the ability to, stop them at the rim. It's not going to be as easy against those guys. Don't get me wrong. Like I think Duren's a lot has like the strength to give those guys problems, but those are two guys that can give anybody fits. So once you really start going up against those elite defensive teams and the margins start to get tighter and tighter, that's where I do think like to Jeff's point, like at some point in his career, that is something you'd love to see. However, I think where Booner's right in this sense is he can still be an absolute awesome all-star caliber center if he continues to be elite in these areas.
That's fair. Hey, Sean.
Hey, thanks, Sean. I'm glad me and you are on the same page, man. That's unbelievable.
I said both of you are right.
Yeah.
Don't mischaracterize me here.
Hey,
I appreciate you being on my side with this one, Sean. That's awesome. I love it.
Favorites.
Sean, he's trying to manipulate the therapist. I don't appreciate it. That's what I did, and I don't appreciate it at all. But Sean, we appreciate you, my friend, for joining the program. Even in, you're remote, you're in your car, you're charging your vehicle, and you're still talking to the boys. You guys can follow Sean at Sean Half Court. Check him out from Half Court. Does great stuff. Check out his most recent interview. Sean, we'll talk to you soon, my friend. Appreciate you.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. Sorry for the randomness of all this. I'll be back at my setup next time, but
you're good. Don't worry
about always, and always fun talking basketball with y'all.
There you go.
Appreciate it, Sean. Legend.
Sean Murphy joining the program. We got to get to our NFL pick'em. Also, we got about 50.
I'm glad he was on my side with that one. That felt good to get a win.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. All right. And honestly, the sad part is I don't have Caleb to get in the trench because he's MIA tonight. He's on the injury.
Yeah, no. Caleb's just a slappy. That man will just be like, yeah, he's gonna be the greatest thing ever. Oh, okay.
Hopefully, Caleb's watching. Yeah, no Caleb tonight for.
He's for sure watching right now.
No Caleb tonight for pick'em, but you know what? It's okay because we still got to be gritty. It comes with the job.
I'm disappointed in Caleb.
Why?
He's not here.
Oh well, yeah. No, I mean,
did he put out a pizza making TikTok today? He worked extra hours at the pizza shop and he didn't do a pizza TikTok.
It's great. I loved it. And YouTube, the people were commenting, they loved it.
Yeah, no, I told him, for people that don't know, Caleb, his contract with Crunch Time Sports, there's a new contract. We've added to it. He now has to post on his personal TikTok. So it's not like Crunch Time's getting anything. It's helping him out as a friend. I told him he has to post a pizza TikTok making some sort of thing at the pizzeria once a day. Every day that he misses, he gets fined $5. I think that's fair. It's consistency, man.
I think it's very fair.
It's consistency. I'm trying to force consistency on my guy.
I just texted him. People love the pizza TikTok. All right, let's get to Pick'em. What's our records? Do you have those or no?
I don't. That's
Maybe
on
I'm
me.
glad. Maybe I'm glad.
Yeah, I feel like we all did bad last week, so we're just going to stick it to where you'll just go first this week. Well, honestly, me and you picked a lot of the same last week. Besides, there was maybe there might have been 2 or 3. By the way, Tom Gores. Oh, they're showing him on the screen right now.
What is he? What?
That's his wife? Have you seen his wife before?
I'm assuming that she's young.
Yes.
That's that. Well, that comes with having that type of money, my friend. You know, he's got a chick probably half his age. So, anyway,
She had a
shout out
huge
Tom
ring
Gores.
on.
Good for him.
Yeah, shout out to Tom Gores. Listen, I think there's a world where we pushed him to be great because we talked so many things, said so many bad things about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, pick him. Let's roll. Jeff, you're up first. We don't have a lot of time here today. We have 10 games. There's not that many actually like great football games this week. There's a couple good ones. We'll start this. Washington Commanders are on the road versus the Miami Dolphins. Miami actually coming off a really big win versus the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, Commanders losing to the Lions, but Miami is a 2.5-point favorite at home, Jeff. How you feeling?
Duren Payne suspended. No Duren Payne, which is big. So I like the Dolphins in this spot. They're not in full tank mode, even though they should be in tank mode. But I think they still got a little bit of fight in them. And honestly, the Commanders are just so bad. Like they're so bad, and I don't want to watch this game either. I think the Dolphins are bad too. But give me the Dolphins. I hate saying that, but give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins to win, cover the 2.5.
I don't know. Is Jaden Daniels back?
No, he's not. I haven't.
Okay, give me the Dolphins. Yeah, I'll take the Dolphins minus 2.5.
Mariota. I don't even know if they have McLaurin.
It feels like they got something going too last week versus the Bills. And I know people are like, well, that was just that divisional game. It does feel like they may have a little swagger back. You know what I mean? What's that, the meme of the De La Salle guy or whatever? I think I got my swagger back. Is that De La Salle?
Yeah, De La Salle, yeah. That's
yeah.
De La Salle.
So I think they yeah, I think that's how they feel right now. So I'll go Miami minus 2.5. Next game, Chicago Bears, Jeff. Your Chicago Bears are going up. This is actually a big game for your narrative, Jeff Iafrate, because you picked the Bears over the Vikings this year, and the Vikings are 2.5-point favorites at home. JJ McCarthy practiced today. He is a full go. Who are you taking in this matchup?
This is where I'm in a tough spot here because I'm battling. I'm basically battling my. You can't. There's no way they sweep them. Like they have to split it, right? Like the Vikings beat them already. Bears got to beat them, but then also the Bears are 6-3. Do I think they go to 7-3?
They go 7-3.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I bet I'm battling those two narratives. Like this to me is a tough one to call. I'm going to go with the team that's playing better football right now, and that's the Bears. I'm going to go with the Bears right now. It's a tough one. I'm just going to go with the Bears. I don't feel confident in it. I'm going to go with the Bears. I don't love that.
It's 2.5, right?
But I'm going with it. Yeah.
I'm going with Jeff. Give me 9. How about that? Give me 9, man. There's something about it. Listen, I'm not saying this Vikings team is going to be the best team of all time going forward, but I do think that there's a world where when Kevin O'Connell, and might take him a little bit here and there to get guys comfortable and to get his team going, but when that team, typically when a Kevin O'Connell football team clicks, you know this best, Jeff. The team clicks.
They play
And it
hard.
feels like-
They don't stop playing hard. They play hard.
Yeah, and it feels like right now the team's clicking a little bit, and I think they're going to kind of use that momentum. Give me the Vikings -2.5, man. It's only by a field goal. I don't like the +2.5. It's a weird number for me. I'm going to go with the -2.5. Next game here, the Green Bay Packers are 7.5-point favorites, Jeff. By the way, Pistons are about to win this game. Unbelievable from them. Packers are 7.5-point favorites on the road versus the New York Giants. Who are you taking in this one?
I don't know, man. That's another weird line. Packers aren't playing good football right now. They aren't. And I like the Giants as kind of a spot in this spot to cover. So I'm kind of bad. This is another. These two games are kind of tough. I was looking at this slate earlier. I don't love these games. There's a lot of tough ones on here. This one to me, 7.5 seems kind of high for a team that's struggling, coming off a short week. But you know what? I'm just gonna roll with the Pack. I think Matt LaFleur's under a lot of heat. He's under a lot of heat. Giants just fired their coach. I know your rule. After they fire a coach, team rallies and gets fired up. Same with quarterbacks.
You take the Packers. I'll put the Packers down for you.
I'm gonna go with the Packers.
I know what you want. You don't try and take my rule, man.
No,
Be you. Don't try and be me. Let me be me and you be you.
Packers. I might
be your own man.
I might be 0-2 to start. This might be a rough week.
You know where I'm going, and you know my rule because you just tried to steal it from me. Fired coach, players step up and play, and they rally around interim coaches. That's how it happens in the NFL. We've seen it everywhere. Also, fun fact for you, Jeff, and this, it sucks that you can't go back and switch it because I don't think you realized this in the moment. If you knew this in the moment, I think you would have said it. But Jameis Winston is now the starting quarterback for the New York Giants, which the fact that we get Jameis for the rest of the season potentially is probably one of the greatest things. Or not the rest of the season, I'm sorry, for the next few weeks until Jackson Dart gets back from the concussion. One of the greatest things of all time. Can I give you a stat real quick, Jeff?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jameis Winston in his 3 career games against the Green Bay Packers, 66% completion percentage, 520 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions.
Something's got to give.
No, he is a Green Bay Packer killer. Jameis Winston, fired head coach. This is the perfect football game for me. I will be all over this game watching this from start to finish. I'll take the Giants +7.5. Next game here. We'll go a little quicker here because I didn't realize it's 9:52. Chargers are 3-point favorites on the road versus Jacksonville. Jeff, who are you rolling with?
Jags just lost a bad one, man. They lost a bad one, but this is a tough matchup for them. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Yep.
I'll take the Chargers on the road.
I like that, Jeff. I'm going to take the same thing. Give me the Chargers, man. Is it 3 or 3.5?
3.
3
right
-3. Chargers -3. I like that as well. I'm gonna roll with that as well. And I like this Chargers team too, man. I think they're starting to figure this thing out a little bit. Next one here, Bengals on the road versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, 5.5-point favorites. Weird one because obviously no Joe Burrow yet, but divisional matchup, no matter what, these matchups are tough ones. So, Steelers 5.5-point favorites coming off a loss.
Didn't they play this year already? They played this year. They already played. I'm pretty sure they played this year already. And the Bengals, I think, beat them. Right? Yeah, the Bengals literally scored. It was a 2-point game. I like, you know what? I like the Bengals to cover in this game, man. I think the Bengals cover in this game. I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Okay.
Joe Flacco had 342 against them, 3 TDs.
I'm gonna go opposite. Me and you are going different here. I think 5.5. Steelers lost. I think they want kind of a bounce back game here, and I think a lot of people are going to think this game's going to be close because of the divisional matchup. I think the Steelers, they go out there to prove something.
I don't know if I love my picks, but continue. Keep going.
Next game, Bills Bucks in Buffalo. Jeff. Buffalo Bills 5.5-point favorites coming off that ugly win or loss versus the Dolphins. Who are you taking in this one?
I'm going to go Bills on this one. I think the Bills win by at least. I think they get by a touchdown. I do. I think they cover this. It's basically a touchdown. You believe the Bills will win by a touchdown? I believe that. The Bucs are in a tough spot, man. They're dealing with a lot of injuries. No Bucky Irving. Still, give me the Bills.
Bucky, man, he might never play football again. That's one of the weirdest things I think of all time. What's going on with Bucky Irving? I'm gonna take the Bills as well. I think just coming off typically I feel like them coming off wins. I could be wrong. It feels like they just off of losses, like off of big losses. I feel like the Bills are gonna try and have something to prove here. It's one of those games. Next game, Seahawks. This is the biggest game of the week, I think, outside of Sunday Night Football. Seahawks are on the road versus Los Angeles Rams. Rams are 3-point favorites. I'll just start us off here. I'll do you a favor. I'm going to take the Seahawks. I think the Rams can win this game. I think it's going to be just a 1-2 point game. Like, I think this is going to be one of the closest games of the weekend, and I think it's going to be one of the best football games of the weekend. The fact that it's 3, I'm just going to go the Seahawks, hope for a push and just a field goal loss, if anything. But the Seahawks defense, man, they're going to keep – this is going to be the toughest matchup for the Rams this year yet with that defense. So I'm excited to see where these two teams stack up.
Yeah, give me the Rams. They're going to shut that shit down.
I knew you were gonna do that. 49ers. 49ers are 3-point favorites, Jeff, on the road versus the Cardinals. Obviously, that's a Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, he might be. I don't know. I'm taking the 49ers. I'll give my pick. I'm taking the 49ers no matter what by 3, even with Mac Jones.
They blow them out every time they play them. They blow the car. I don't know what it is. I know Jacoby makes it closer, but give me the 49ers. I think they at least they cover that.
This just feels like one of those games where the 49ers just take care of business, to be honest. Last 2 games, Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites on the road in Denver. Who are you rolling with in this game, Jeff?
Give me the Chiefs. Broncos are due for a loss. Chiefs need a big win, and this would be a big one. So give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, I feel like this is like where we've been waiting for like the Broncos to like have that loss. You know what I mean? Like they keep winning these close games. The Chiefs feel like one of those teams where it's like, hey, at the end of the day, it's like the Chiefs are actually really good. Have the Broncos ran into a team like the Chiefs yet? Probably not all around. So I'm with you with the Chiefs. And the fact they're on the road and they're 3.5-point favorites is pretty telling. Last game, Ravens, Browns. Ravens are actually 7.5-point favorites. Jeff, do you want me to give my pick first here on this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Give me the Browns plus 7.5. I think the Ravens win this game. Divisional matchup, though. Give me the Browns plus 7.5.
Yeah, you can shove that divisional matchup right up your rear end, man. They played earlier this year, won 42-10. Give me the Ravens.
Right. We're not doing that again. You're not blowing a team out twice in 1 year. I'll tell you that. Especially a divisional team.
With the Browns, anything can happen. And
by the way, too, I want this on record now because I haven't really been like someone that's really gone at you about Shadour. That's been Klotz, really. I've been more so just on the back, like, hey, if he gets a chance, he might be good. I'm fully off the Shadour train. Like, I think he sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We don't have any. We don't know what to.
I know, but like, and Hodges in the chat, we were at work talking about it. It's just like I had the realization, and Jeff, I feel like you can understand where I'm coming from here because for you, like, you've put your foot down on that stuff. But it's just more so. It's like. The fact that they just have never tried him out, like they struggled to put him at QB 2. Like, if he was actually good, wouldn't someone be like, hey, yeah, no, he's our QB 2? Like, they didn't even want to make him the backup. He might just suck, dude. It hit me a couple days ago, like last week. It just hit me, and I was like, I'm done standing up for Shadour Sanders. Like, he might just not be good. Like, how has he not even got a chance? How did they not want to make him quarterback 2?
I think there's something more going on in Cleveland.
I don't think so. Like the example that I brought up when I was arguing this at work, like
they didn't want Shadour.
I almost said Kevin O'Connell. Yeah, but Stefanski. But the thing is like Stefanski, dude, that man is 2-time coach of the year. He gets paid millions, $10+ million a year to coach. Do you think he would risk his career if he actually had a good quarterback in Shadour? If Shadour was actually good, he would be like, yep, like, I want to win. You're a quarterback. He just might not be that good.
Yeah, but that was a decision to draft Shadour was an owner's decision.
Which is fine. But if you would, again, that's still.
So
but if you bring him in the building, if you bring
right.
No, I think you get paid too much money to be able to do that, man.
I agree with DT. There's politics, and I think there's.
I disagree.
I think
he just might not be that good.
He sucks when there's no evidence to just.
No, I'm not gonna say he like fully sucks. I just don't think he's as good as people think he is. I was getting in this argument at work, and the thing too that I like hated is like, how is this guy's number retired at Colorado? That's the most ridiculous thing of all time.
Sucks. Dylan Gabriel sucks.
Yeah, they all could suck, but like the fact that he can't beat out Dylan Gabriel. I mean, and then if Dylan Gabriel sucks, how bad does Shadour suck? But then how bad does Shadour suck if he can't beat Dylan Gabriel out in camp?
I think
it's ridiculous, dude. I hit me. Listen, I've been with you on the Shadour stuff, man. I've never wavered on the Shadour stuff with you. It hit me a week ago, and I go, you know what? I'm tired of this, man.
Well,
maybe he's just, huh?
Well, it's changed in a week. Nothing's changed. I mean,
it hit me this like the realization of like, wait a second. If he was actually a good football player, if he was a good football player, they would like not have a reason. Like they would have no choice but to play him. He's just not that good. And then it hit me again and goes, why is this guy's number retired at Colorado? It's the dumbest thing of all time.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know anything about that, but I will say,
I'm sorry. I just want to Shadour hatred thing this week. Hey. It just made me mad. It was just like, I've stuck up for Shadour. It's just like, dude, yeah, if he was actually good, like the team would play him.
I disagree. I listen. I disagree. There's a lot more going on, dude. You look into it. It's bad.
By the way, Tyler Shuck, ETN. He's like, how about your guy Tyler Shuck? Tyler Shuck just had a career game last week. So sit down, ETN, and unplug your keyboard and don't say anything the rest of the night. Tyler Shuck put an absolute dime right in the arms of Chris Olave on like a 70-yard touchdown bomb. Shadour would have never done that. And Hodge is right. I voted for Tyler Shuck for Rookie of the Week like 30 times the other day.
Yeah, ETN
was hyping him up. Sorry, I thought you were going at him. I get protective over my guys, man. Sorry, ETN. You can plug your computer back, your keyboard back in. I'm sorry.
All right, we'll get out of here. Appreciate you all. We'll see you on Sunday. Sunday Night Football.
Mike said he got his number retired because his dad is the coach. Are you dense? I'm talking about, am I dense? Is that a bad thing? Is he saying something bad about me?
I mean,
I know he got retired because of his dad. He should never have his jersey retired. The man did nothing. He won like 8 total games in his career at Colorado.
Yeah, it ain't good.
He didn't even play in the bowl game. How are you not going to play in the bowl game for your team? And you're like, hey, yeah, I'm not going to go win a bowl game for my team, but or my college, but I would love for them to retire my number. That would be cool. What did you do for that program?
By the way, tomorrow morning, Saturday mornings with Crunch Time, Mike and Caleb will be live.
Sorry, I went on a rant.
9 a.m. We'll see you there. Until Sunday, for us at least. We will catch you all. Peace.
All right, love you guys.